and welcome to another episode of Aussie Tech Heads 468. I've got to look every week. I lose count. But hey, this is the last episode before Christmas and also the last episode before the New Year. So, last episode of the year, we won't be back until probably, I think it's about the 7th of January, first Thursday night in January. We'll probably have a bit of a go, come around again. So, enjoy the last episode. Nothing too spectacular, no what's happened this year, compilations or anything like that, because they're just all, quite frankly, too hard to do. So if you want your own compilation, just fast forward a couple of shows.
Google it.
From the last year. That's right. All right. Now, as you heard, we have got our hosts here again. And this week we've got, this week again, it's Eric and Shane. Hi, Eric. How you doing?
Hello, Glenn. How do you do?
Good. Thank you. And what's new with you?
Not a lot. Getting the kitchen still done, it's all happening. It's
going to be finished by Christmas?
Yes, it will be.
Christmas?
We're in the final stages now. The bench top is in.
Right.
That went in the other day. Tomorrow we have the electricians coming back to switch everything back on and plug dishwashers and fridges and ovens in and microwaves and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, okay, right.
And on Saturday we have the cabinet maker coming in to do a few last bits and pieces.
Mm-hmm.
On Monday we have the tiler coming in.
You got any smart appliances going in? Are they existing
or
new?
No, new.
Yes,
new
smart appliances?
No, I don't believe in that.
No internet fridges?
What do I want to turn my oven on the way home from work?
Well, get it ready.
For what?
Heating? All right. Hi, Shane. How you going?
Good, Glenn. Yourself?
Yeah, good, thanks. News with you?
Nah, same dog, different leg. Still got heaps of free time at the moment on my hands. Been for a couple of more interviews that, hopefully will pan out. Found out that I didn't get, one of the other jobs that I was kind of pinning my hopes on. So...
Oh, well, there's always plenty more jobs in the ocean, plenty more fish in the sea, all that sort of stuff. You know the drum. And look, you can just maintain, what was that? What was that stat? 8 out of 10 people go to work just to pay for people on the dole. There you go. You can take pride in. I don't know. Are you down in Centrelink?
Yeah.
No, all right. Well, good. Good stuff. All right. Let's hope not for long. Okay. Let's get on with some stuff this week, but before we do, it's all thanks to ATH Web Hosting. That is Aussie Tech Heads Web Hosting. Yes, we do web hosting, and if you're after web hosting, just go to that web address and get some nice, affordable, economical web hosting. And it's on servers based in Sydney, which, why based in Sydney, people ask me? Well, it is based in Sydney because it is the gateway to the world. So not only will your website load faster in Australia, but also if you do have customers overseas, well, it'll load, say, faster for them being in Sydney than if it was in Brisbane. Because otherwise, if it was in Brisbane, it's got to go to Brisbane, Sydney, say LA. And that's right. So there you go. We think of everything down here at ATH Web Hosting, don't we? All right. Okay, first story. Talking about the internet and loading web pages, Optus has been fined for false NBN speed claims. So this has probably been going around for a little while. Everyone reckons that they've got the fastest stuff, but anyway, they've been fined $51,000 for misleading claims that its HFC network offered NBN-like speeds. Well, I don't know. I suppose it did to a certain degree, but the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission said that between January and August, Optus advertised plans offering download speeds of 30 down, 2 up megabits, and that was comparable to NBN. Well, that's not really comparable to NBN. I think if it had been like Telstra, like 100 down and 2.5 up.
But isn't the NBN more, if you're getting 30, number one, I don't do 30, it's 40 is their minimum, I think, isn't it? Or 25?
For NBN?
Yeah.
Well, I've got here ranges from 50 down, 20 up and 100.
Well, that's the thing. See, 2 up is not NBN, anything.
No.
I think that's where they got busted. The 30 down, you could probably go, yeah, okay, NBN does 30 as well.
Mm.
But if they, when you're saying things like 2 megabits up and that's NBN-like speeds, well, it's clearly not true.
No, that's right. So anyway, they've been charged $51,000 for their trouble. Optus has agreed not to use the term NBN-like speeds in its advertising, and it's acknowledged that it may have contravened consumer law. Well, if
Well, it's a good chance. If you got fined,
That's right.
contravened consumer law.
I guess what that means that actually,
Knucklehead.
I guess what that sentence probably means is that they're not going to appeal it. Maybe they acknowledge they've done the wrong thing. They probably knew from the start they were doing the wrong thing. Probably been a bit tricky. Optus has agreed to refund customers. Now there's a turn up for the books. Refund customers their startup fees and cancel their contracts at no cost if they purchase plans when the offer was advertised. Yes. So in just for your information, in 2011, Optus agreed to transfer its HFC network to NBN, $800 million. And I think we've done with this story earlier on, but just for your information. However, NBN leaked documents revealed last month said that the network was in such a degraded state that the national network builder was considering replacing Optus's network for an additional $375 million. So
this is why Optus's network is so bad for people that sign up to it. And we wouldn't have known how bad it actually was until NBN actually started looking at what they bought and realised that, it's probably rats nibbling away at their wires every 5 seconds.
I thought with the, how we've got the Telstra cable, Eric, and there's the Optus cable. I thought, were you saying at one stage that it's the limitation, or it's a imposed limitation on the up speed that we've got? Like it can be just the knob.
And download speed.
But the knob can be turned.
Well, yeah, metaphorically, yeah.
Yeah. So why wouldn't...
But the network, if you've got pits that aren't maintained and they degrade, the cable starts degrading as well. So regardless of the technology's there, but your pits... It's like having a beautiful Bentley car, but if you don't service it, it's going to fall apart, right? So it's not going to do 0 to 100 in 4 seconds.
So is that saying that there's not enough money in broadband? Like, why wouldn't they...
No, I don't know about that. I think there's probably not enough money. I think Optus spend more money on other things rather than, it's how they allocate their funds, their funding. Remember, they're a subsidiary of a parent company in Singapore. So a lot of their money, they're probably thinking, well, anything you make, we want it sent back to us. So maybe they're limited by their parent company as well. Because
you would be able to obtain the Optus cable in an area where Telstra cable runs, or
not necessarily.
No, but
because they laid their own cable. They didn't,
overhead, wasn't it?
Yeah, overhead. They didn't piggyback off the existing Telstra cable. Like on ADSL, it's all Telstra's copper wire, but everyone piggybacks of it in the exchange and pays them a fee. Well, they didn't. For some reason, they didn't allow that with the Telstra cable, and Optus had to build their own overhead cable.
So what I was sort of driving at, where I was going, is like, they're offering 30 down, 2 up. So wouldn't you think that, hey, if it's just a matter of turning the knob, flicking the switch, punching the dial, punching a keyboard, wouldn't you think that they go, okay, let's get one up on Telstra.
You don't get fined for the ads. Well, look, there's more to it than that. They've probably got to do a few back-end modifications. They've probably got to write different software and upgrade all the modems to certain firmware and all that sort of stuff. But it is possible to do it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, as we will see, when was it? I think not next year now, but the year after, 2017. Well, here on the Gold Coast anyway, and probably for you too in Sydney and anywhere on Telstra cable, the HFC is coming, which is the hybrid fibre coax,
which I'm fine with that, as long as they can give me a good up speed and they can, if they bump my download speed down up to 200, 300 and give my upload up to 50 or 100, I'm fine. Look, no issue.
I think that most of the problems that you have with, say, what we do now, video conferencing or streaming,
up speed
is up. Like, we've got heaps of down, but we still seem to struggle every week with furry pictures here, furry pictures there, dropouts here, dropouts there, and it's probably just all to do with that up speed.
Yeah, I don't like a furry picture.
No, no one likes a furry picture, especially at night.
No.
All right. Okay, Shane, what have you got for us this week?
I had the same story as you, but I won't steal it from you.
That's
I'll
all right.
let you do the Android one, and I'll just piggyback on top of that.
You go your hardest.
But what I will do is I will take the opportunity to have a bash at Apple.
You
here we
girl. You got all the same stories as me.
Huh? Sorry?
You got all the same stories as me.
Are they mine? You looked at my stories. My stories must be the same then.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm going to do this one anyway. Since
All right, go. No, I don't care. Go. Yeah, go ahead.
MacKeeper discloses 13 million Mac user details with poor hash protection. Mac security software suite MacKeeper is recovering after a hack leaked millions of users' personal information. Cromtech, the software developer, confirmed that it had received notice of the hack yesterday, which is obviously a few days ago now, discovering a hole in its security which was exposing customer usernames, email addresses, and other personal data for as much as 13 million users.
Nasty.
According to... Sorry?
Nasty.
Yeah.
It's not really Apple, though.
No, it's the...
Apple software by a third party, but it's not really Apple per se.
No, we'll blame
directly.
them anyway.
Yeah,
not
by association.
not indirectly either.
All right, so anyway, I'll keep going. According to Cromtech, the hole was patched within a matter of hours after the security researcher Chris Vickery had published details of the error on Reddit over the weekend. The German developer assured customers that there was no evidence of the data had been accessed by malicious third parties. I hate this word. Analysis of our data storage system showed only one individual gained access, which was the guy, the security researcher.
The guy that hacked it in the first place.
Yeah, and they've been in communication with Chris, and he has not shared any of the data inappropriately, so he says.
Good.
Vickery, who had been unfamiliar with both MacKeeper and Cromtech's, explained that he had discovered the security fault by browsing the connected devices search engine showdown.io. This is in his words, in a moment of boredom, Vickery said that he randomly entered a search for port 27017, a default gateway for the database management system MongoDB.
Ooh, Mongo.
And the random search returned 4 separate IP addresses linked to Cromtech. These offered public access to stores for customers' information without the need of username and password authentication. It's not clear how the hole came about, but Cromtech is yet to provide any comment or explaining the occurrence.
Donald Trump will sort it out.
Yeah, you sorted out.
He's-
Ban all Muslims.
No, he's. Did you see in one of the? I don't know. You see it on the TV. I don't know where it was from, but he was saying about blocking the internet to the
He's an idiot.
whatevers. But I can see the argument, but it was just he goes, oh, we got smarter people or something. We need our smart people to be smarter than their smart people, and all this sort of stuff.
You don't need to ban anything. You just put them under surveillance. How easy is that these days?
Yeah, but I mean,
If you suspect someone, it doesn't matter what colour they are, you can put them under normal, everyday digital surveillance. It's not a big deal.
But the thing is, you can't do nothing if they haven't done nothing.
Well, if there's, you're allowed to have surveillance.
Yeah, but it just look. I can see merit in the idea. Just cut it off. I don't know.
Yeah, if
Cut
you
them off.
suspect that they're about to do something, then you can cut them off.
No, but
You
like
can
cut
ring
the
up
whole.
and you can pretend you're Kevin from Calcutta, saying that
Well, good
I'm
blaming-
sorry, but your internet connection is coming down for the next 2 weeks.
Yes, that's until Donald Trump has given us the okay. Yeah, Look, I don't know. I can cut the whole country off. Stop them spreading their little tentacles everywhere.
What country? Cut off the whole United States from the internet, so they have
No.
like an internal net.
The problem areas.
You can't cut them off.
Cut them off.
Can't cut them off. It's called freedom of speech.
Oh,
They can say what they like,
who?
as long as they don't kill me.
No, what? The Syrians? Whoever's?
Anyone.
The radicals?
No, the radicals can say what they like, just don't kill anyone. I don't care what they say.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But they've gone further. They are killing people.
Well, that's when you cut them off.
Cut them off. That's
For
right.
killing someone, not for saying that they're going to kill someone.
But they are killing. Yeah. Anyway, all right. What have you got, Eric? This week?
Absolutely nothing. No, I've got heaps.
You've got all my stories.
Yeah, I have. That's why I got heaps.
All right, go.
Now, what was the first one I have? Hang on 1 second. Just scrolling down here. Pass your group certificate.
I wish that was my group. Oh, look, I'll show you guys this group certificate I found later.
While we're kind of filling in time, if we circle back to the Optus thing,
Yes.
with them sort of being fined 51,000 and how we were kind of talking about where's their money going if it's not going into network maintenance, how much are they paying that dude to do their ads? But he's sitting in his bathtub.
Oh,
reading
Ricky
the paper?
Gervais.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
probably. I think I heard $1 million for this year's ads.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Actually, speaking of Optus, hello Optus, don't cut me off now. I'm actually isolated this setup I got here tonight directly just Optus. I was just using it as a redundant connection, but now it's just I'm the only person on it. So how's it going? All right?
Yeah.
Not too bad?
Yeah.
Cloud storage cut.
No.
Microsoft is giving back the 10 gig of free only storage it took away from you. What? That's really badly written. Who's that journo?
Go on.
Actually, we had him.
Get into
I
him.
won't say anything.
You like him, do you?
Microsoft is giving back the 10 gig of free only storage it took away from users last month. That's badly written. In a world where free online storage is pretty much taken for granted, Microsoft made a surprising move I think I'm not reading that right. Last
month?
Am I cutting back words here? Last month. Hang on. This stupid thing. Last month of scaling back. See, that's really. I don't know if that's me, and my cut and paste was wrong, but that's really bad. The unlimited cloud storage offered to Office 365 subscribers was wound back to a more manageable 1 terabyte. Meanwhile, the 15 with the change set to take place next year. Meanwhile, the 15 gig allowance for free accounts was slashed to 5 gig. Who's affected by this? Anybody?
I think from what happens, everyone was affected. So it was just across the board. Everyone, you've lost your 15 gig camera offerings. You lost your 15 gig storage. You're down to 5 gig or whatever. Because
so what is it? They're going to revert back to the original one, which was a free for all for everybody. Is that right?
No. So after all the hubbubaloo that it caused, they've changed it to users who wish to keep their free storage. Okay, so now what will happen now? So Microsoft said it has introduced a new offer that allows OneDrive users to keep their existing 15 gig of storage and the camera roll bonus. Okay, so if you're an existing customer,
so if you've got heaps of photos, you're allowed to put up as many as you like.
yes, but you've got to do something. You don't just get it for breathing. You got to do something. So users who wish to keep their free storage must opt in at a special site and log in with their Microsoft account. Otherwise, capacity reductions will still go ahead in January.
It's sneaky.
So there's the site. I did it.
Right. Now, I am an Office 365 subscriber.
Yes.
So I get the 1 terabyte, or is that going to be unlimited?
New OneDrive users will be limited to 5 gig of storage with no,
but unlimited cloud
camera.
storage offered to Office 365 subscribers was wound back to 1 terabyte.
Yeah, so Microsoft...
I'm an Office 365 subscriber.
Yep, home, personal, and university subscribers. I think Microsoft... university subscribers, I think you're right. You'll keep your 1 terabyte.
Right. 1 terabyte's quite a bit.
Yeah, they won't do your movie collection like some people were doing.
Yeah.
But that's taking the piss, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, why? Yeah,
It's
really... It's like the people that go to a buffet and gorge themselves because it's free.
Well, no, it'd be more like you go to a buffet and you fill your suitcase up.
Yeah, and then you walk out.
And just on the way out, say, I'll just take a gas bottle, would you mind?
Hey, mate, how much for the buffet? Oh, $30, all you can eat. Yeah, sweet. Come on, fellas, get your bags out.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, it's a bit silly, isn't it?
I used to go down to Seagull's Members Club, and when that was going years ago, and there used to be
I remember Seagulls.
there used to be a dude in the members lounge, and they used to bring out, back then they went all out. They used to bring out peanuts, and little hot things every now and then, around the happy hour time.
Yes.
You mean like nibblies or hot things as in entertainment?
Yeah, nibblies.
Okay.
Sometimes one and the same, but no,
That's
just
Sometimes they're exactly the same.
things to eat. And I used to watch this guy, one particular guy, he used to just stuff it in his pockets. I don't know what he did with it. Just stuffed it in his pockets. My notes.
So what did you say to your father when you got home?
I said, I don't like that. Can you get something different next time? I said, get some chicken wings next time.
That's right. And you got all empty. And make sure you got no fluff in your pockets because it sticks to it.
That's right.
Oh,
yes. Yeah, so anyway, that's the Microsoft thing. So look, there will be a link if you go to the show notes.
How do you know how much? Actually, that's another question. How do you know what storage plan you're on?
Well, I don't know. Because, when I went into... Well, after I went into OneDrive, after I opted in, it told me I had the 15 gig. So I guess if you log in, you don't have 15 gig, it'll say you got 5 gig.
Right.
So I guess that's how you tell. But if you go to the Aussie Tech Head show notes at aussietechheads.com.au/podcast, look for the show notes. You'll find them. They're there somewhere in the menu. You'll find them. Have a look around. And go to the show notes and you'll see this with the link to opt in and any other stories that we're talking about tonight. Most of the time will be there. I don't think I've got Shane's stories yet. Are you going to put them in the thing, Shane?
Yeah. Do you want me to do them as I go, or do you straight after the show, or do you want me?
Just do them straight after.
All right.
If you don't mind, and I'll chuck them up there. So all right, so that's the story. Microsoft OneDrive. Now, where am I going to go? Look, I've got a few. Started out, I thought it's going to be a bit of a boring week before Christmas, but it turned out to be not too bad. Not too bad at all.
Quite a few stories, actually.
There was, as it turned out, yes. Now, look, I've got one here. Oh, there's the picture. I thought I had a picture. Now, teachers are in line in Victoria for a $37 million refund. So apparently...
Teachers?
School teachers.
Huh.
So apparently what happened was that the Victorian Education Department said, okay, we're going to... It is compulsory for the teacher to have a laptop. Now, you can rent that laptop from us. And the teachers, they go, well, no, we've already got one, blah, blah, blah. But the Victorian government said, you have to have this particular one. You cannot bring your own device. This is the one you're getting. This is the one you need to lease from us. And it was costing somewhere from between $4 and $17 a fortnight. So anyway, the teachers, didn't like this. And anyway, they took it to court. And they said, well, why do we have to pay? It's part of the job. Why don't you supply this? Blah, blah, blah. You know how it goes. Anyway, and they were successful. The department was found to be unlawful. Last month, the federal court ruled that the scheme was illegal under the Fair Work Act, which prohibits employers from forcing staff to spend money on a specific product or service if it is unreasonable. I'd probably hinge on unreasonable, but I would say where I would agree with what happened was, if you want to bring your own device, you've got a perfect device that would suit the occasion. Why would you want to go and rent something else? So under the scheme, teachers were restricted from bringing in their own devices and instead made to lease laptops from the department. So it was automatically taken out of the teacher's salary, which is, that's pretty harsh.
That is very harsh, actually.
The Victorian government today said it would not appeal the court's decision. Given laptops were an essential tool for teachers, it agreed to pay back $37 million to 46,000 of the state's teachers. Now, the move has potential implications for other states across the country as New South Wales and Western Australia, Shane, have operated similar laptop leasing programs. Look out.
So the only state that normally does dodgy stuff that doesn't appear to have done dodgy stuff this time is Queensland.
Oh, we don't
which is a change.
We don't do dodgy stuff up here.
Never.
Are you serious?
Never.
We're all right. Oh, hi, Siri. Yeah. Every time I say, are you serious, Siri pops up. Hello, how you doing? Oh.
I'm always serious.
There you go. Did you hear it?
Yeah, I saw that. That's hilarious.
Now, did you see that thing I posted? I'm not sure if I posted on the Facebook page, which you can find at aussiefacebook.com/Aussie Tickets. Every time you typed in, was it Lardas? It went to spell check and it wanted to change it to Kardashian. It's funny. Okay.
And so it should.
So these funny little things every now and then, don't you? Shane, what else? Please.
I have to continue our foreign affairs thing, and and especially with the China stories that we've been doing the last couple of weeks. I've got another one. The US and China have reached their first ever cybercrime and cyber espionage agreement, but the details of the deal is quite. I've got your problem, Eric. But the deal is quite general.
Speaking properly.
Yeah, and how it will translate into action is still unclear. Leaders of both countries announced the deal in Washington on Friday after two top days of top-level talks, but both dodged questions about specific hacking incidents or indictments last year of the US of 5 Chinese military hackers for cybercrimes. This is Obama talking, we have agreed that either the US or the Chinese government will conduct or knowingly support cyber-enabled theft or intellectual property, including trade secrets or other confidential business information for commercial advantage, President Obama said at the White House. So basically they just have to say, we didn't know that it was going on, so therefore we're still okay.
Do you think that both sides would honour something like this?
No.
Do you really think?
It's just diplomacy and rubbish.
Yeah, and another thing that come from all these presidential debates, and Trump, I think, is right again, where he says, "Why are we telling the terrorists what we're doing?"
Yeah, I heard that too, and he's right.
He is right.
He said,
But why?
And today we are going to send 5 SAS people to specific town in Syria.
Yeah.
Because
Why?
we're going to get them, and you get there, and they're all gone. I wonder why, because they knew you were coming, morons.
What? He's right. He's got look. He
Common
is,
sense.
He's,
Common sense.
Look, he is far right, but he does talk a lot of common sense, and maybe that's
what they've got to realise, that he is talking common sense,
And
and
I
they better
think-
start listening.
I think he might be acting, if nothing else, he might be just like a big reset button, you know?
Yes.
And it's just got to, and maybe we need a reset button here as well. We just need a reset, bring it all back to
get
normality.
people to wake up. I think
Yeah,
maybe
and like,
that's what it is.
if you're going to send people over to fight someone, we don't tell them where they're going to parachute into. Like,
No,
you know, I went and saw James Bond. He didn't tell people where he was going.
No, he just got out his gun and shot him when he got there.
Yeah, I went and saw that latest movie, Spectre. That was good.
Yeah, don't know.
Noah?
Well,
Saw that movie too.
don't tell. No. What's the bloody word I'm looking for?
Spoilers.
No spoilers, please.
Yeah, well, hurry up and go there. Go and watch it. You watch it at the
Yeah, I'll
cinemas,
have to.
or you're going to wait till Foxtel or whatever? Standard definition in Foxtel. they're crap. All right.
I'm gonna continue to finish this story.
Oh, sorry. Yes, sorry, Sean.
The deal also speaks to improve cooperation between law enforcement in both countries or on cyber investigations. Chinese President Xi endorsed the deal and acknowledged that disagreements between the two countries over hacking were something to be avoided. The question now, and this is again Obama, the question now is, are words followed by actions? We will be watching carefully to make an assessment as to whether progress has been made in this area, Obama said. Neither leader addressed the question about whether China would hand over hacking suspects to the US. Last year's indictment for the 5 accused military hackers illustrated that without an agreement on extradition, such moves were more symbolic than anything else.
Yeah, symbolic.
Yeah, Obama's an idiot, and he just talks a lot. That's all he does. Nothing ever happens under
Nothing's
him.
happened. Nothing's happened.
But I mean, he's also on his like the home stretch of his term.
Sleep.
So
You'll wake up next year. You go, oh,
I'm out of office.
8 years sleep.
Chell,
But
give
I'm-
me the coffee.
I've just read or listened to the bit in the Google book where they were talking about their move into China and how much crap, for the want of a better word, they had to put up with in relation to filtering the search results, and they kind of didn't do it, then they half did it. Then as the Olympics came and went, they thought, they thought that China would be more relaxed, thinking that the spotlight's going to be on them. They show that, the world that we're a nice country, but that was the opposite. During that period, they even tied it down even more.
Yeah.
And, eventually Google had to kind of, back out. And I think they were thinking about backing out, but eventually they just said, look, no, we're not doing any filtering anymore. Something
It's up
happened.
to-
Oh, that's right. They got hacked, and it was pointed back to the Chinese government. And it wasn't just Google that got hacked at the time. It was about 40 different organisations and companies and whatnot.
Yeah, they're only bringing in these treaties or whatever because the people that do the hacking are just so damn good that they can hack. Like if America, tightened up they could shut the gate and then no hackers could get in, they wouldn't even go anywhere near one of these treaties. Yeah, get stuffed. Try your hardest. Build a wall. Ask Donald,
build a wall.
Ask
That's
Donald
it.
to build a firewall. He likes building walls.
He likes building walls.
He
Might as well.
does. He does. Lucky you bought your Surface Pro, Eric. There's a
Why is that?
shortage.
Because it got a slagging, did it?
No, there's a shortage.
Oh, is there?
Yes. You're one of the lucky few.
Is that because they're all getting repaired?
No. The popularity of the Surface device has led to supply shortages for Australian resellers.
Oh,
the
Tim
Surface-
Cook won't want to hear that.
The Surface, well, they've only probably made 10 because see how they go. The Surface Pro 4 is constrained for the Surface authorized device resellers. JB Hi-Fi, Harvey Norman currently have limited availability of the Surface Pro 4. None of the Intel i7 models were available for immediate order from Harvey Norman, while only the 8GB RAM i7 was available from JB Hi-Fi. Now, you got an i7, didn't you? Or an i5?
No, i5.
The new
i5 one, I can't remember now. i5 something or other.
The new Microsoft store in Sydney last week was still taking orders on certain Surface Pro 4 models, with both the 128 and 256 gig i5 model, as well as the entry-level 128 gig. So the online store, Microsoft's online store, has all models except the 256 gig Core i7. Yeah, well, there you go, whatever.
Yeah, so I've got the i5 8GB RAM 256
And you're still loving it?
SSD.
Still liking it?
Love it.
Yeah, good.
It's so fast. I don't believe how fast it is.
Yeah, right. Well, you probably haven't, put crap onto it.
No, no crap came with it too, which is good.
Have you put any software onto it, or it's pretty much just a clean
Very
vanilla?
clean.
Yeah.
Got Office software, it's got, browsers. I've got Chrome,
Yeah.
Firefox, Explorer, Office stuff, OneDrive's on it, Google Drive's on it,
OneNote.
just OneNote's on it. Yeah, just the good stuff.
Yeah. And you got 2016 Office on there?
Yes.
Yeah. And is that any noticeable difference?
Bit prettier, faster, prettier.
Well, that's what makes the difference, isn't it? That's what makes you do the
Do you
subscription.
reckon it's got enough grunt to do a podcast, like record one? And
Oh
all that
God,
kind of
yeah. Oh God, yeah. It's got more grunt than the thing I'm on now.
Mm.
stuff? Okay.
Yeah. It's an i5. It's pretty
i5,
good.
the SSD is lightning.
Yeah.
Absolutely lightning.
Yeah, well, I've got an SSD on my desktop, and I think I can boot up in. I could be
seconds.
I could be on the logon screen under 20 seconds easy, probably faster. So yeah, it's really fast. And then if you go back to mechanical drive, yeah, it does take a lot longer. It's amazing how long it takes. So if you got a desktop machine, whack a SSD into it.
Oh yeah.
Something I did find out through the week though was. You can't install Office 2016 on a Mac if you're on an operating system before Capitan.
Oh, is that right? I didn't know that because I'm on Capitan.
Yes, well, I went to try to install it onto a machine through the week, and I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure what version OS it was, but it wasn't El Capitan because the update for El Capitan was there. And yeah, well, you go to install it, and it said, no, your operating system doesn't support it. You have to upgrade, which was free anyway. But who can wait around doing software operating system upgrades? Who can do that?
Hey, you got Windows 10, Glenn?
Yes.
Did you notice, and I don't know if it was when you went to Windows 10 or when I went to Windows 10 or whether it was when I did that November update, but when I shut my machine down now, and it happens on both this machine and my laptop, the machine kind of shuts down, but then it kind of starts up again and then shuts down again, but it doesn't fully start up where the monitors come back on.
Oh.
It's almost like the fans kind of rev up again and then it shuts down properly.
Yeah, right.
Doesn't happen to you, obviously.
Maybe just fighting death.
Maybe.
Oh no, no, it doesn't happen to me. Well, mine, I don't turn mine off. Mine's
Okay.
just, I don't know what happens when it goes to sleep after 5 hours, but I don't turn mine off. Mine's 24/7. Because I don't know, it's too much hassle to turn them on. Turn them off, turn them on, too much hassle.
What, your computer?
Yeah.
No, I don't turn them off ever.
No, I don't. Well, I suppose like another reason why I don't is, if I'm on my laptop upstairs or something, well, sometimes I might want to access this machine down here, and I can just go for gold. There's two schools of thought, I suppose. Closing down your machine. Power save, yes, but then what about you shorten the life of the components? Is the other side of the story. Power. If you're shutting down, turning on, the machine's receiving a burst of power.
Yeah, you're constantly too. You always got moving parts cranking up, cranking down.
So that's a thing. But moving on to something quite interesting. Facebook enters transport business with Uber. So now this isn't in Australia yet, but I tell you, Uber is not going away, is it? Because
they were made legal as of midnight tonight in New South Wales.
Yes, I've got you. Well, you can do that story in a sec. Then
you can do it.
The new service means Messenger users will be able to ask for an Uber vehicle without leaving the Facebook app or software or wherever you are. So that's just too easy. Users will not need to download the Uber app separately. Uber on Messenger began in parts of the US this week. The company's announced their new venture via separate blogs. Facebook has 1.5 billion users globally, and Uber is the world's biggest driver hailing app in terms of financing. Facebook Messenger has some 700 million users worldwide. So what's that mean? It means only, say, around half of the Facebook users have Messenger. I find that hard to believe. Don't you?
Oh, yeah, maybe they haven't installed it.
Yeah, but so they don't. They're all the fake ones. Uber was founded 6 years ago. It is operating in about 60 countries, just for your little stats. Now, as Eric said, Uber is now legal in New South Wales.
As of midnight tonight.
Yeah, midnight Thursday night. So they're going for the Star Wars last night, Uber tonight. It's all happening. More than 50 taxi and car hire regulations have been repealed immediately. Taxi. You reckon? So taxis are going to lose a lot of money.
They're going to be compensated, apparently. I don't know all the details yet.
Well, they reckon there's about 5,800 perpetual plate owners, and they'll be given a $20,000 flat fee for the plate ownership. I thought they were hundreds of thousands.
They're worth more than that. What's it say here? It is widely expected, in a widely expected decision, New South Wales Cabinet signed off on legalising blah, 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 and putting in place a compensation package which includes payments of $20,000 to owners of taxi licence plates in perpetuity. The one-off payment will be capped at a maximum of $40,000 for owners of multiple plates. So $20,000 per. It's really not a lot when they paid $300,000 for some of these plates.
I know.
It's a bit of a slap in the face, really, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Look, that's a big loss. I wonder, would that be a tax write-off though? Wouldn't it? You'd write that asset down or something.
Capital loss.
Yeah. So
not a deductible loss.
So there's a capital loss that's only for 1 year, or can you spread that?
No, you can carry forward capital losses.
Okay, so they might not be if they're written down $300,000, they might not pay tax for a couple of years then.
No, it's not an income loss. It's a capital loss, which means it can only be offset against things like investment
gains.
Yeah, like capital gains from investments.
Right.
So if you sold a property and you made a gain, you can offset your taxi loss off that.
Right. Yeah, well, that's hard. What would you?
Which is even worse. That's a real slap in the face. Look, the tax office might give them a bit of a 1 year holiday on that and say, oh, look, we know it's a capital loss, but because you got screwed, make it a deductible loss, and maybe you won't have to pay income tax for the next 5 years.
So these plates, these are the things that did cost $300,000.
Yeah.
And now they're just getting 20,000.
Someone's saying, "Oh yeah, you're not gonna do you a favour, mate. $20,000, how's that?" Piss off.
So who got the 300? Like originally, so the government sold the original plate.
Well, this is the thing. I don't know how much of that the government gets, or I don't know how much of that the taxi cooperative, if there is such a thing, gets. This is the thing. So, look, I think there's going to be some hoo-ha out of this that we haven't heard from the taxi industry yet on this, and I think the government are going to get sued. They're going to up the price of what they give them, guarantee. There's no way they're going to get away with just paying someone $20,000.
Well, you wouldn't think so, but was there any compulsion? But there's no compulsion for to be a monopoly. There's no, you know what I mean? Like, why should the taxis have a monopoly? There's nothing to say that
Well, no, they didn't have a. They didn't have a strict monopoly. They had lots of different taxi companies in the taxi industry.
Yeah, but the service.
But they were the only transport available. You didn't have an alternative to taxis, I suppose. It was a virtual, or it was vertical competition. So you had ABC cabs or silver service cabs. So you had vertical competition, but they didn't have horizontal competition. They weren't up against other taxi industry players. So they're sort of like a monopoly, but isn't.
The legalisation of the controversial cab service Uber will mean traditional taxis will still have the exclusive right to pick up passengers from ranks and off the street. That's what? And will have exclusive access to Sydney Airport. My question is, you ring up an Uber, how the hell are they going to know who it's Uber? Old mate can come right up to the front door of the airport. How do they know?
They won't know it's Uber. They'll think, my wife's here to pick me up. And today, she's not looking as good as she was the other day. And she looks completely different.
Well, that's how some people roll.
I've got 5 wives.
Yeah.
And next week, it'll be a bloke. And you think, it's still my wife.
But no one's going to know. Why?
No, that's right. No one's going to know.
That's ridiculous.
Unless if you're an Uber driver, you've got to display like a sign or something on your window.
A tattoo on your forehead.
Yeah, saying that you're an Uber scab.
Yeah. So Uber drivers will now have to pay a licence fee and undergo criminal checks. Well, they do that anyway, criminal
Fair
checks. A licence fee, I don't know about a licence fee, but they have to
No,
do...
that's fine. Licence fee's okay because, you're in the business of carting passengers around and you should pay a licence fee and be insured and have your cars checked under the same conditions. That we were saying this a few weeks ago. I've got no issue with Uber, but they've got to be on the same conditions as the taxi drivers.
Yes, and as well as regularly get their cars checked for safety. The changes mean a $30 million reduction in regulatory costs for the industry. So, look, competition's good for the soul. Like, I'm not a taxi driver or an owner.
I don't think I'd like to be a taxi driver.
No.
But I don't feel bad for the taxi industry. Well, not the industry, because the guy that owns the taxi monopoly,
the plate
here, Reg Code. I don't really feel sorry for him. I feel for those, those poor bastards who are just trying to make a living, who pull all that money into plates.
Well, I guess they can move on. They can. Well, taxis have been scooting around as Ubers anyway, haven't they?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, you'd be stupid not to. You download the app. You might as well go on an Uber drive. If no.
Well, I don't know if you're allowed to pick up an Uber passenger if you've got a taxi with a big sign at the top that says taxi.
Why not?
Well, I don't know. I don't know the rules on that.
Yeah, I can't see what the problem would be. None at all. Anyway, good. All right.
Well, I know one thing. The fares are going to drop. That's for sure.
That's all I'm interested in. I'm going to a home brew tasting tomorrow.
Are you?
Just change the subject totally.
Yes. Yes.
In someone's home?
No, at a home brew shop. So
okay.
I'm looking at going to weigh up the costs, the ins and outs. May get a kegerator. We'll see how we go.
Yeah, don't put together your studio while you've had a few kegerators. That's all I can say.
Oh, look, I do some of my best work after a kegerator. Now, all right, Shane, have you got any stories from out west?
Yeah, I've actually put my stories into the show notes.
Oh, good.
See.
I can follow on.
So the segue between the Uber thing and your brewery thing is that you might need an Uber driver to pick you up tomorrow. Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, I'm going to give it a shot. That's exactly where I was going with that. I'm going to Uber myself home tomorrow night.
You're going to get yourself so wasted you got no choice but to call Uber, and you'll probably end up calling Tinder instead.
Well,
you're so smashed.
You never know your luck in Varsity Lakes. Yes, Shane.
All right, so multiple US airlines ban hoverboards because they keep catching fire. The 3 largest airlines in America, American, Delta and United, put hoverboards on the no-fly list this week. The decision came after multiple reports of the gadgets bursting in flames without warning, and obviously you can't have that on a plane. In addition to these 3, both JetBlue and British Airways have banned people from bringing hoverboards on the plane as well.
Well, they blew up in the plane, like when they're not being used.
No, there's been reports of them just catching fire, just not in connection with flying on planes, but obviously they're preventing that from happening by saying, okay, these devices, for whatever reason, have a bad habit of catching fire.
So we don't want them on our plane.
Yeah, but while they're not being used, like they're sitting in the cupboard. Poof.
Yeah. Yes, the batteries, apparently, from what I understand.
Oh, ban them. Ban them.
These hoverboards and it's the same there. You get good ones and you get the cheapy ones, and it appears to be that
And you get the few that you get the replicas that are made in a country that we won't say,
yeah,
that are half the price, and they end up catching on fire and killing you.
yeah. They make batteries out of bloody sandwich bags. Anywho, this week, Overstock.com announced that that would be no longer selling hoverboards due to the safety risks. On Thursday, the US Consumer Safety Protection Commission told somebody, can't read my own writing, told Gizmodo that it has 10 active fire investigations in 9 different states. Sadly, a hoverboard-related death was also reported this week in London. A 15-year-old boy was struck by a bus while riding a hoverboard.
Oh, well, see, this is it. You know, to put that in the Darwin Awards.
Yeah, like,
How dumb are you? You're going around, oh, yeah, I'm going to ride in the middle of London. Yeah, it's not busy in London at all. Oh, no buses there. My God.
but
Why would you do that?
They're not actually hoverboards. They've got wheels, haven't they?
They got wheels, yeah, but they look like hoverboards with 2 wheels, that's all.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, well, that's the last point in the story. Was not sure why they are even called hoverboards.
You seen that new craze on the internet, on the Facebook? People setting themselves alight.
How stupid is that?
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Are people stupid? Well, you know what? The planet the planet's population is growing at an exponential rate, and the more morons there are doing stuff like that, the better for the other people that will remain here, I reckon. So keep it up.
And the other craze I heard about this week was nutscaping. Have you heard of nutscaping?
That's not like it's not a like a breakfast spread, is it?
No, we're not talking walnuts or anything.
No. Have you heard of it, Shane?
No, I have not.
No, haven't partaken.
Well, I won't have a picture because I won't do any pictures. But you take a picture, and I'm not even sure how you do this yourself. I reckon you got to have an accomplice. But you take a picture, and in the top of the picture, there's a little blurry, like you got your finger over the lens type thing.
Right.
But it's
adding a mystery to the nutscaping.
No, well, it's a nut. So you'll have to Google it. I don't know if
I will not Google
I want to go into it any further.
Hello, viewers and listeners. I'm glad you're enjoying our technology podcast.
I'm just bringing everyone up to speed on the latest crazes.
Latest social media craze. Okay, it's related. Let's tie it in that way.
Yeah. It's pretty funny. All right. Have you finished your hoverboard, Shane?
Have you just Googled a picture, didn't you?
No, I don't want to see any pictures. But all right, let me go back up the top here, up to the good stories. Now, where are we? Here we
Noisy
go.
mouse.
It is noisy. Oh, it was playing up through the week, but you know when things play up, like I tried to highlight stuff or whatever, and it loses the click halfway through, so then it de-highlights and it only gets the second half. And I was doing it for a fair while. You know, you just get so annoyed after putting up with it for so long.
My connection just dropped, everyone.
Oh, it's dropped now. How did he say that? How did he say that?
After it dropped.
Yeah, that's cray-cray. All right, we're going to have to see if we can get Eric back now. No? Oh, no. Let's see what's happened.
It's because he switched to that Optus service he's got.
It must have been. Hold on while we're trying to get the call back. Oh, my God. All right, what are we going to talk about? Maybe he's jumped out to do a nutscape. He might post that up on the internet later on. Let's...
Yeah. While he's not here to defend himself, just let this rip into him.
Here he comes.
What happened there?
How funny was that? You go, oh, my connection just dropped, and then it dropped. So we got you saying...
So you heard me say that?
Yeah, and then it dropped. It was really
That's
weird.
really bizarre.
It is.
So if you can just do that with the lotto numbers before they come out, Well, you're
Yeah,
right.
that'd be great. I'll be on fire.
Now, with what you might have just popped out to do a nutscape. But
No.
okay, now where's my show notes? Oh, Netflix. They're re-encoding everything to make everything, I don't know, leaner, meaner, and for people with low bandwidth, or not to use as much bandwidth.
I've got a Netflix tip too, by the way, when you finish that story.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, we'll go with this.
And I have a question, but it might get answered in the story, so I'll shut up.
Since 2011, members of the Netflix video algorithm team have been working to revamp the encoding technology. So what's that? 4 years, nearly 5 years they've been working on it. Well, let's hope that they've done something good, which currently selects a certain bitrate for all titles based on the internet connection available. So what that's saying is that no matter what you watch, whether it just be a blank coloured wall, you would still be encoded at the same bitrate as a game of footy, say, if footy was a movie. So what they've done, the team over the last 5 years, they've got their heads together. They've clunked a few glasses of beer and gone out on a few night outs, and they've come up with a new algorithm that will see Netflix running analysis on each individual title to determine how it should be encoded based on its complexity. So on its blog, Netflix wrote, "Imagine having very involved action scenes that need more bits to encapsulate the information versus unchanging landscape scenes or animation that need less. Under the previous encoding method, low bandwidth conditions could have seen an animation like BoJack Horseman," that sounds like a great movie, "playing in the same quality as something complex like House of Cards, streaming in 1080p. Now, I don't know why someone rings me every week while the show was on, but let me just turn that
Probably
silent.
Optus or someone else you've slagged off.
Now, okay, so I think we get the picture. They're re-encoding everything, so it's going to look and see what's in a variable bit rate rather than a constant bit rate. Let's put it that way.
Yes, I like that.
What's
So
your
I have a couple
yes,
of
your
questions.
question and then Eric's tip.
All right, so 2 questions. So does that imply that the bit rate will change throughout the movie, depending on what the scenery's doing, what the scene's doing?
So a fast action scene might get a better resolution so there's no blurring. Maybe that's what they're thinking.
The new approach will see streaming giant running analysis on each individual title to determine how it should be encoded based on its complexity. Yeah, look, maybe it doesn't really say that it is going to be a variable throughout the actual title, does it? It still might be a constant, but it's going to be a lower
Based
bit
on the
rate.
based on the if there's one action scene in there where there's a whole bunch of explosions and the rest of it is tranquil water, they'll encode it to match the
Explosion.
The explosion. Okay.
Yeah, but if and vice versa. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So if, I don't know, there's a movie of Kenny Rogers and everyone falls asleep, well then they're going to encode it probably at 1 bit rate.
It'll be like a pixelated
Fuzz.
because no one's watching.
No, just his fuzz beard.
You couldn't tell with all the plastic surgery the guy's had anyway.
He doesn't even look like Kenny Rogers anymore, does he?
He looks like a doll of Kenny Rogers.
Yeah, he looks like
Don't you reckon? He looks like a doll of Kenny Rogers.
He looks like a candle or something. I went
A
to
candle?
a candle. I went to Ripley's, believe it or not, last week, and
Oh, I don't believe it.
no. And there's a guy, apparently, who had a candle in his head, and
Oh, God, I'm glad you said head.
he cut a little hole in his head, stuck a candle in, and melted the wax around, and he went around town with a candle in his head.
Well, obviously that was the bit of his head where he had no brain.
Exactly. I don't know. I don't know if I believe that one or not. But yeah, it was all right, I suppose. It was quite boring, really. It was all right. What was your tip for Netflix, Eric?
I don't know how legal this tip is, just what I heard. And I will not confirm nor deny whether or not I've tried this. But if you download Hotspot Shield, there is a free version which allows you to VPN mask your what do you call it? Your IP
P address, yeah.
IP address. And so you can pick that you're either from Australia or Great Britain or America. I think they're the three ones you get for free. And if you then put that on, and then you go into Netflix, and you say you pick the United States, you will get the United States content.
Right.
Even though you have an Australian account.
Right. Oh,
Okay.
there you go.
You know, it's a little bit slower. They've got pretty good...
It doesn't buffer.
No, they've got a pretty good encoding on there that it senses your speed and it'll give you the best possible feed for your speed. And it's still pretty good.
The feed
And there's no buffering, ever. Never any buffering.
So you give
pause or stop or anything.
You've tried it.
I may or may have not.
Okay. You may have seen it being done.
I may have seen it being done.
Now,
And,
is
yeah,
it...
so for example, I'll log into the Australian site and you'll see all the Australian stuff. You think, oh yeah, I've seen that. Nothing new's come on for ages. Then you might flicker onto United States on your hotspot, and then you just flick your refresh button on your browser, and suddenly, US content.
Right. And is it worth... Is the US content a lot better?
They have probably 5 times more.
Right. Okay. How's Presto? I see if you're a member of QuickFlix, I think you can get another 3 months free with Presto. So
Really? So ClickFlix don't want to protect their business? Because they're giving away free Presto. That doesn't make any sense. Unless Presto has bought them.
Why would you want to protect a DVD postal delivery service?
Well, it'd be like me saying, you know what? If you stay with me, I'm a restaurant, right? I'm Macca's. If you come with me once this month, I'll give you food vouchers for KFC. Right? It's just bastardising your own business. I suspect that Presto has got an investment in QuickFlix, which anyway you would do it.
I'd say that QuickFlix's Presto's probably bought like the database or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Customer database.
Probably, and them probably as well. Now, I didn't do it. I watched it being done.
Yes.
That you flicked it onto the Great Britain one, and they've got all the Great Britain stuff. Doctor Who, Glenn.
Ooh, nice. Because I don't think that's
and
not
all
on
the English sitcoms, Blackadder, all those things that everyone loves.
Is that not on the Australian version?
Are you being? Yeah, but you can watch. But at least you can pick. You can have a binge fest. And go right. I'm going to watch a season of that. You don't have to wait for it. On demand.
So this obviously is like a plug-in to your browser by the sound of it, this hotspot thing you're talking about.
It's software. It runs in the background. It's not a plug-in.
Oh, okay. Because I use something similar as a Chrome browser for research purposes. And
it works in a similar fashion.
Yeah, but obviously it only works within Chrome and only on either like a laptop or a desktop. Can anyone recommend something that's free or pretty close to free that works on a mobile device?
Yeah, Hotspot Shield.
Oh, okay.
Same thing I was talking about. I bought the full version because you get no ads or pop-ups, which is really annoying, but it's $30 a year, big deal. Yeah. And it allows you to works on a Mac, PC, and your iPhone. So, for example, when we were in Singapore, I couldn't watch Netflix, right? I had my phone with me. Couldn't watch Netflix because you're in Singapore. It's geo-blocked.
Yes.
So I just put it on that I was in Australia and Bob's your uncle watching Netflix.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think they should just drop this whole region thing.
Oh, let's not start that, Glenn. You and your bloody... Just give it for free.
No, I don't think for free. I'm just saying just drop this region business. You know, like what Netflix just...
Never going to happen.
No, I understand why. I can see that other side of the argument. But what about Australia's big banks?
But see, the thing is, you don't have to get them to drop the region thing. Just get Hotspot Shield for $30 a year.
Yeah, but it's not the right way to do it.
Yes, it is.
Australian banks sign up to Android Pay. So, ANZ, Westpac, ING, Macquarie, St George, Bank of Melbourne, Bank of South Australia, and Bendigo Bank will all support Android payment services.
So that means that the banks want their systems to get hacked, do they?
Well, no.
Putting on Android software close to their terminals. not a good idea.
Oh, look, it's it'll be all right.
I don't know. I don't trust anything Android does. Too many bugs and glitches.
At launch, well, it'll be probably a real tightened up version of it. At launch, Android Pay will support MasterCard, Visa card, and debit cards. Google said in a blog post. The company is currently working with FPOS. Now, the notable exclusions, the CBA and NAB. CBA already provides a market-leading mobile wallet experience through CommBank app, and NAB is not listed as initial Android partner. It has declined to comment.
They're not an Apple partner either, so they're just out there swinging in the breeze by themselves.
Yeah, nutscaping in the breeze. Yeah. So negotiations have been underway since the payment service was announced last year, but banks are holding back over the cut of transaction fees Apple is pushing for. So here we go.
Yeah, what is it, 30%? God, they're just highway robbers.
It is understood Apple wants around 15 cents of the 83 cents interchange fee. So would be...
I'll tell you.
30, that'd be 50%. That'd be close to
20%.
20, yeah.
20%, yeah.
18 to 20%.
Yeah. So Apple wants, say, 20% of the interchange fee that banks get for every $100 worth of transactions they process on Visa.
So if I process something on Visa for $100, right, I get charged 1.5%.
Yeah.
Of which 83 cents of that, or 80 whatever that is.
Well, 83 cents is the interchange.
For every dollar, right?
Yes,
goes to
every $100.
The bank, and the Visa keep the rest. But now Apple want
15 cents.
15 cents of what the bank normally gets from Visa or MasterCard or whoever else.
Yeah. That's a large... You know, this is
what they do. They don't do anything. They provided the software that you can pay for stuff. But there's no investment in the back end. There's no investment. Like, they don't have the back end worries or computer or all that stuff that Visa has to put in place or the banks have to put in place. But we want to cut.
Yeah, and this is where I don't mind them having a cut. Okay.
Yeah, but not like that.
Yeah, exactly. This 15 cents of 83 cents, like so 20%. They just come in and go, guess what? We're that friggin' good. We're going to demand 20% of that little fee. Look, they got so much money. This is just greed for the sake of being greedy.
Yeah, I reckon it is too.
Look,
you're right.
Why
you
not
take a fair fee for a fair service?
Well, yeah, why not take 1 cent? Could you? How many $100? How many hundreds of dollars transactions
thousands and thousands
would go through every day across Australia? Across Australia, it'd be, how much would they make?
They just say, look, we'll take 1 cent or 1% effectively. We'll take 1% of every transaction, whether it be FPOS, debit card, MasterCard, or Visa. Get it across the line, right? So 1%.
And look,
that's $1 trillion a week, or whatever it is that they turn over. How much money do you want?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And look, I think you've got Apple out there. What was it I heard today?
Maybe they need all that money to pay their tax bills.
But I heard today, so under Steve Jobs, they had, 10 products, but now they've got about 25.
He wanted to keep it simple.
Yeah,
and they're doing exactly what they did when Steve Jobs left the first time, and they nearly went broke that they had to bring him back. Well, newsflash, you can't bring him back this time because he's dead.
He's finished. So, but it's just greed. It's just unadulterated greed, and I think that's wrong.
Tim Cook. The thing is, if you say Tim Cook's doing a shit job, everyone will go, no, they'll poo-poo you because, look at the share price and look at how much money they got in the bank, all that sort of thing. Say, yeah, but that doesn't mean he's doing a good job. It means they're selling a lot, but it doesn't mean he's running running it in a way that it should be run with Steve Jobs' legacy in mind.
But in a way, it's good to see that the Australian banks are standing up to this BS and saying, listen, you guys can go and jump off a cliff because we're going to go with Android, who's not going to charge us anything, I think. Let me have a look at this.
Oh, they'll charge them very little.
Google and Android Pay, on the other hand, is understood not to demand a cut of the interchange
They're going to get money
fee.
from somewhere.
But you know what's going to happen? They're not the money it cuts. So the banks will go, you know what? you've been so good about it. How about we give you X? And I'll go, yeah, fine, no worries.
I don't know about give you X. Maybe they will, but
They'll get money out of it, believe me.
yeah, but they're going to get money out of it just because more people are going to go. Well,
More people are going to buy their phones.
That's right. I can do my banking with an Android phone. Well, okay, cool. I'll do that. And I think that's Apple. They're not just
They're missing the point.
They are. They're not providing us. They're not trying to provide the service. They're just trying to make the money.
More of their products. It's very, very short-term thinking.
Yeah. So I'm down on them. Have been
for that. For that, I am too. I don't like the greed. We do. The apps and all that sort of stuff on the App Store.
Yeah.
They take 30% of everything that's sold. Even to me, that's a bit steep. 30%.
Yeah.
They provide the platform, and I understand that takes a lot of money. I understand that. But you'd think you'd have maybe a graduating scale. Like the more you sold, the less you'd pay us.
Yes.
Like if your Apple's really popular, then it'd be like a scale of fees.
Yeah. Oh, look, 30% on the App Store. Look, I could probably get over that because it's they created it. They were sort of the inventors. They were the it's theirs. But to come into an existing market and just say we want 15
and try and reinvent it, and then
20
suddenly they'll be in 5 years they'll be telling everybody, we invented that market. No, you didn't.
Like the music, I think they're probably taking 30% of the music
They
as
are.
well.
Yeah.
That's not right. Because they're just providing.
What about the artists? They get nothing.
Yeah, and so look, times and the tide is changing for this company, and it won't be long before I think you'll be right.
People will vote with their feet.
That's right, and they'll be going. You know what? What the hell are we doing?
Well, once again, I went past an Apple store close by here about probably a week ago, and the place was full, and what did I need to get? I had to get something. Can't remember what it was now. That's right. I was buying a gift for my youngest.
Yes.
So went in there, and the place was full. Christmas shopping and everything, right?
Yeah.
There was diddly squat around the iPad Pro.
Yeah.
Diddly squat amount of people. They're all around the normal size iPads. They're around the Macs because everyone loves the Macs, right?
Yeah.
And rightly so because they're a beautiful product.
Yeah.
iPads, iPhones, even their iPod touches. Everyone was gathering around those. No one near a watch or an iPad Pro. There's two products that he has released since Steve Jobs has died, and no one wants to buy them.
Diddly around the iPad Pro and squat around the watch.
That's right. Diddly and squat. They're related.
Yes. Now look.
So I have a theory.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about. I was going to ask a question about how Google were going to pay for it, but we kind of covered that anyway. I have a theory. I don't think two points I want to make. Poor Garth has had to wait nearly the whole show before we started bagging Apple like we do every week.
He
lately.
loves it.
Oh, no. He's going to have to listen for the whole podcast now.
And the other thing is I don't think you guys have actually turned on Apple per se. I think that it's more of a Steve Jobs versus
Tim
what's
Cook.
the new guy? Tim Cook's kind of thing. I
don't like his. You could be right. Steve Jobs wasn't perfect, and some would say he was an absolute pain in the ass bastard. And and then Tim Cook's the nice version of Steve Jobs. But I just don't like what they've done with the product since he's arrived. There's no vision.
Well, look,
You make a watch that looks like a digital watch I had in the 80s. Why would I want to buy anything like that?
and they say it's a digital watch. They won't even let you change the face.
That's right. Oh, no, they can change the face.
But there's something that you're restricted for whatever they brought out.
Yeah, whatever they give you. Say, look, because you bought this version, you can only have these faces. And the more you pay, the more options you get, obviously.
Yeah. You can't
make it like a car.
Yeah, yeah. But look, I don't know. Look, even my iPhone.
Who would pay $24,000 seriously for an Apple Watch? $24,000, and that's their most expensive one. And remember, we did about a year ago. We did the maths on this. It's how much gold was in it.
Yes.
Because it was solid gold and all. It wasn't even solid gold. It was all gold and all this sort of stuff. And we worked out. Well, I worked out that at the price of gold, that watch shouldn't be worth more than probably $2,000. But they'll sell it for $24,000. For $24,000, I can go down to the Rolex shop now, and for under $24,000, I can get a Rolex that's encrusted with diamonds.
Yeah, yeah.
Why would I spend $24,000 on an Apple Watch that I have to take off when I jump in the shower?
Because people are they're bloody trapped in the reality distortion field.
I mean,
And, yeah, but you know,
sorry, Garth. I love my Apple products. I've got them here, and I'll point my camera towards them if you like. But a crap product is a crap product, regardless of who makes it.
But look, I do still like the iPhone, even though mine freezes a little bit, which I'm concerned about.
Have you updated it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine was starting to freeze because I've got two. One was fine, never froze, and the other one was starting to. You press it, and it takes a while for the apps to pop up,
Yeah.
slowing down a little bit.
Or the camera, you push the camera and it opens up in like a freeze.
Yes,
And then
it opens up.
go
Yeah, it's got a
live.
bit of a pause.
Yeah. And you
But
think,
yeah, I don't know what I did. I updated it, and then I did that old trick. You put it in airplane mode for 2 or 3 minutes, and you switch it back on.
right.
And that seemed to have fixed it.
Well, mine's in airplane mode every night when I go to bed.
Or maybe that's your problem.
Maybe. Oh, I've forgotten to switch it on. Oh, that's what it is. All right. Anyway, let's move on from that because we've ran out of time, but we'll just keep going until we're finished. It's Christmas. Shane, you got anything else?
I've got one more.
Yep.
And I've got a question for Eric, but I'll do the story first because it's kind of related. Why Pandora shares are going crazy. Music listening service Pandora saw a dramatic dip and then a dramatic 22% spike in after-hours trading Wednesday as investors learned of the royalty rate decision. Investors had been waiting all year for the Copyright Royalty Board's decision, which determines how much Pandora and other digital radio services, including iHeartRadio, will be paying artists for the next 5 years. They settled on 17 cents per 100 song plays for non-subscribers, and which is up from 14 cents for every 100 songs. And the rate is 22 cents for every 100 songs played by subscribers. It doesn't actually say what that used to be. While this is more expensive for the unprofitable company, which is related to my question, Pandora investors were bracing for a worst case scenario, which is why the shares are trading up on the news. Some of the music industry had been expecting a 25 cents for every 100 song sort of amount. Unlike Spotify and Apple Music, which negotiate with record labels directly, Pandora is subject to a flat fee across the board because it is considered a radio service. The new rates will go into effect on January the 1st. My question is why or how long can a company like this, and there are others, I mean Google did it for X amount of years when it first started, how can a company kind of survive not being profitable? And why do they do that?
Investors. They kept getting funded by outside investors. It's the only way.
And I suppose, like, would you say you could liken it to, say, Uber, where they probably weren't profitable to start with, but now they're just gradually...
Most tech startups never are. They can run at a loss for 3, 5, 10 years, as long as their investors believe in them, and they know that there's a lot of fat that they can cut out down the track because they're getting a certain amount of traction with their products. You can run at a loss.
Well, we have to with Apple Music.
Well, to me, running at a loss is... I just couldn't do it for 2 or 3 years before I started getting worried. You can't keep going back to your investors, cap in hand, saying, "Oh, can you give us another $1 billion?" Because as an investor, I'd say, "Well, what did you do with the last $1 billion?"
Wages.
Yeah, headcount.
Drawings. So, just going to that Apple Music, that's just another failure under Tim Cook.
Yes, Apple Music, massive failure. Beats. No one listens to Beats. No one gives... no one cares about it.
No one gives a beat about Beats. But I do want to thank Steve, who listens to us from overseas. He sent me an email about a couple of things on Apple Music. And yes, look, I have persisted actually with it. And I have created my own playlist.
But don't you think it's so hard to get around? The
it is
interface
very
on
hard.
it is rubbish.
Yes, it is very hard to get around. But I get around now just by searching for what I want. Then just like searching for albums. Like I'll even search for like various artists. I'll Google what a various artist album was called. From, I don't know, say from '87 or something, and then I'll type the name of that album into iTunes, and it'll pop up, and then I can create drag some of those songs from my playlist, but it is very cumbersome and very
So it's badly written. This is, again,
unintuitive.
disaster.
Yeah, it's
Disaster,
it is a
disaster,
complete disaster, that thing. And I'll tell you another thing that is very off-putting with it is that there's when you start to play a song in a playlist, it's all right, but when you go, okay, you search, play that song, you sit
Yep.
there for about 5 seconds waiting for it to start.
Oh,
You go,
really?
It'll start soon, and then you go, okay, let's try another song after that. So you search for another song, another 5-second wait.
Oh, you know what? The other thing is too, if you're not a paid subscriber, and you just want to, want to think, okay, I want to listen to 90s music or whatever it is, right?
Mhm.
And you go on the thing and think, it just comes up with this, the little stationary thing that says 90s, and you just press play, and a random song will come up, right? If you don't like it, you skip it. You think you skip it and see if the next random song
Yeah.
is okay. You're allowed a maximum of 6 skips before it stops you from skipping, and you just have to listen to what the hell they serve up.
But this is not Apple though. This is Pandora, isn't it?
No, this is Apple.
I don't think you could listen.
And Pandora as well. Pandora
does it as well.
I didn't think you could do Apple for free. I
No,
thought-
you can, but you
Yeah.
only get 6 skips.
Right, but you can't. Can you put into playlists for free?
Not sure, because I haven't tried it. I won't persevere with it. I think it's absolute rubbish.
Well, the only reason I have persevered, and honestly, the only reason is because when I went my phone with Telstra, I got 2 years of it for free.
Yeah,
So
well,
that's the
you wouldn't
only.
have paid for it otherwise. What does that tell you?
Yeah, well, when the 2 years is up, well,
See you later.
Well, at least I've got my playlist. I just copy it into Spotify. It'll probably take me half a day, but I'll just do search for the same songs in Spotify and make my own list. But
Yeah.
and all the other reason is because I thought, well, while I've got Apple Music for free, it's probably high quality anyway than free Spotify, so why not?
Yeah,
But anyway,
maybe.
but I hate it.
I got an email from Presto today saying,
Presto.
haven't seen you for a while. In order to get you interested again, have another free month.
Oh, right. That's
So
all
I'll
right.
be doing that.
Yeah, but do you watch it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't watch.
When it's free, I watch it.
Yeah, I don't watch TV. I don't get time. I just don't. I just
Got to
don't.
make time. Make time.
There's a couple of shows I do want to watch. I hear that show. Is it Robot? That's pretty good. I wanna
Oh
watch
yeah,
that.
that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah. Apparently, it was a bit tech related in the tech genre or something. So.
Not to give you the whole story away, it's about a guy who works for a security company. He's a white hat hacker. He stumbles across another company doing some dodgy stuff, and long story short, he obviously helps him out, and that other company get in trouble. But there's an underlying story about his relationship with his dad, and
Yeah.
it's only been one season so far. I don't think they've brought out the second season yet.
Oh, right. Anyway, this is a story for the tax office people. Tax office is going to spend $189 million banishing the paper group certificate. Wow.
Yeah,
It's going to
sure.
cost $190 million just to get
Sure.
rid of a paper certificate. So, but anyway, I'll tell you what it's all about.
It costs them $1 million to go to the toilet.
The single touch payroll to hit employers in 2018. The effort aims to give employers the ability to automatically exchange payroll information and superannuation payments within the tax system with their taxman via their own accounting software. So you can't do this at the moment, because I know because I look after my brother's shop, his business, and at the end of the year I send the group certificates
The
to
summaries,
to the ATO automatically.
Well, maybe what they're saying is every time you pay someone, you have the option of sending that to the tax office. But I don't understand what's the point of it, because they can't do anything with it until the year end anyway.
But what I thought what they were saying, though, the gist that I got out of it was, instead of you getting a piece of paper, you say, okay, my accountant, or whoever your accountant might be,
Right.
I think that you can do this now with bank account interest, can't you? You punch
Yeah.
up the tax file number, and bank account interest pops up. And so you punch up the tax file.
So if you log in, an accountant can log into the portal
Yes.
and go, right, but you can do that now.
But can you get
half my clients don't give me their group certificate because
It's
their
already there.
employers lodge it.
Yes.
Or let's just say I do it on their behalf for the small businesses. Right? I lodge their summaries at the end of each year.
Yes.
And then if I log into the portal then and look up the reports, it's there.
So what they
And
do?
I don't need group certificate. I just download it and go straight
right.
into
So
my
it's already
software.
because I know I send it to the ATO automatically, electronically,
in an MDUP file.
or whatever the hell they are. Yeah. So it's already happening. So what's all this business about?
I don't know. It's just, I don't know, spending money that they don't have.
Yeah, so the information will then be pre-populated into individuals' electronic tax returns. So maybe they just want everyone to move over to this electronic system.
I thought everyone was already on it, because if you're a, and let's face it, 90% of all people are employees, right? For the most part, that's probably a high figure. I don't know, but a lot.
Yeah.
The majority
Yeah.
would be employees, and all employers have to send digital transmissions in, small, medium, large, to the tax office. And I download all that information from people who work for banks, construction companies, big conglomerates, to the little guy down the road.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're doing. It's like their duplication.
Well, to ease the transition that's already happened, as far as we can tell,
Oh, newsflash, we've been doing it for 5 years.
the ATO is offering small businesses a $100 tax offset to pay for standard business reporting enabled software. Well, that's going to get you bubkus if you go and knock
Down
on my old
SBR,
store.
it's nothing.
Yeah, the crusade against paper will also catch the tax roll number declarations handed out to employees. Well, I guess they're still getting done. So what does that mean, though? What, you punch a tax deck online?
Well, how you use the now you have to fill in the manual form.
Yeah, so it's just going
When
to be
someone
online.
starts, the tax file number, when you start a job,
Yeah,
and it gets posted in.
yeah, yeah.
Well, now the employee might start on one day, and it's all on a system, and you just press enter, and it goes directly to the tax office. Okay, well, that makes sense. But you know what they don't realise? The tax office, they're going to spend $180 million to put $180 million worth of people out of work. Because that's going to cost them another $180 million in redundancies. Because suddenly they don't need all these people, do they?
But I suppose instead of
Long
that 180, long term, that's right.
Long term, much better.
That's what you got to think about. The forward estimate terms. Or whatever.
Going forward.
Now, next, have you got any more stories, Eric? Because before
I do.
finish off, yeah,
Vodafone
yeah, what are they doing?
turns Vodafail around.
Oh, good.
3 years ago, Vodafone Hutchison Australia was dubbed Vodafail and was seen as a national punchline with its network and customer service targeted by furious mobile users and comedic videos. But under the leadership of Bill Morrow and his replacement Enaki Barota, the company started turning its fortunes around by spending billions of dollars on network investment and increasing the number of Australian call centre staff. Australian call centre staff. Very good.
Turn it up.
Now, fresh data released by the Telecommunications Industry Ombudsman show that Vodafone Australia has gone from being the nation's most hated phone company to one with some of the lowest complaint levels per capita.
Oh, they've turned it around.
Turn it up.
Yeah.
This is a vital point for a company looking to win back customers from Telstra and Singtel-Optus.
Well, there you go.
Good for them.
Yeah, good on them. Well,
I know one thing. When I go to Europe at the end of 2016, I will be on Vodafone because their roaming fee is $5 a day.
that's right. That's right. You hope that stays.
Bloody better. No, my luck, I'll join them up and they go, I just chopped it out, mate. Sorry, can't help you.
And what's this I hear you've got this must be your last story, the Apple secret laboratory.
Yeah, secret lab. I just thought I'd put this in there for a bit of a laugh, actually, because they make it sound like he's Dr. Evil from the Mike Myers.
You guys have been pretty much making him sound like that as well.
Because it's always, every time they talk about Apple, it's always this, it's discreet, and it's a secret, and they're up to something, And so, according to this story, Apple has a secret lab where it's developing thinner and brighter iPhone displays. Didn't we cover this a couple of weeks ago?
Oh, I don't remember.
Actually, I'll call it now. I discovered this 2 weeks ago, not some dodgy journo.
They listen to you, Eric.
Of course they do. Apple has opened up a new and secretive research. That's why everyone knows about it, because it's new and secretive, and that's why they're writing about it.
Yes, yes.
Apple has opened up a new and secretive research lab in Taiwan, so they even know where it is. That's how secret it is. To help with its never-ending quest to create even thinner devices. Remember we were slagging them off for how thin do you want to be?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Last week, yeah.
Crazy stuff. Well,
They probably found it on Google Street View or something.
one more Apple story, and maybe one of the last ones for this week.
We've got to send
for this
Garth to
year.
bed in a good mood, so make it a real slaggy off one.
Next Byte is this. Next Byte, you would have heard the Apple reseller store. They are no more. The Next Byte will cease to exist from next March.
Because who wants to buy from Nextbyte?
That's right. Who wants to go to Next Byte when there's an Apple store just down the road? Now,
That's right. Without a hipster, with the earring through his nose and his nipples.
they do wear shirts these days, don't they? Down there at JB.
Oh, when they feel like it, down at JB.
Yeah. Now, look, that's a little picture there. I thought I'd grab a picture out of where the Apple stores are located. And I guess you could say there's not that many. Could Nextbyte operate somewhere else? But I suppose not. There wouldn't be the population in other areas.
But not so long ago, 2008, they had the first launch of the iPhone here, the iPhone 3G. In 2007 was the iPhone 3, which is only a 2G version. So in 2008, Australia got the second version of the iPhone.
Yes.
And at that point, and that was only 7 years ago, there wasn't one Apple store in Australia in 2008.
And there's about 16.
Yeah, 18, I think.
Yeah, right.
So that's quite a... And since then, Nextbyte have obviously gone from worse to worse.
They bit off more than they could chew.
Yeah, they bite off more than they can... Next. Next.
Yeah, look, Nextbyte was always, you always used to, if you're an Apple person, you always used to love the Nextbyte because that's the only place you could
Only place you could go.
you could walk into and feel the love.
You know where the funny thing is? There isn't an Apple store in Singapore.
Yeah,
Not
right.
one. They've got these premium resellers,
Yeah.
but no Apple stores. In Hong Kong, they're everywhere.
That's because
Everywhere.
That's because Apple staff spit on the street. And they're
Okay?
not allowed to do that in Singapore.
No, that's true, you're not.
There's no Apple store.
You get arrested. There's a big sign at the airport.
No spitting.
No spitting, no chewing gum. You get arrested for this.
Right.
No spitting, no chewing gum. Men cannot have their hair touching their collar.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
So no long hair.
Yeah.
There's a few other things there. They're pretty strict.
Mm.
But I tell you what, it's a clean country.
Yeah.
No grommets, no bogans. Going,
That's what I said at the start of the show. Reset.
that's right. They need
Reset.
a reset.
Yep.
And everyone's polite. No drunken idiots.
Yeah, nice.
It's
Good.
great. It's
Yeah,
just
good.
very peaceful. It's a very safe place to live. You can go to any nightclub and you will not get a glass in your face.
So can you buy chewing gum, or it's just not?
No, it's not even for sale.
Yeah, right. Wow. That's that is unbelievable, isn't it?
No chewing gum because, when's the last time you saw an attractive chick chewing gum? Yeah.
Julia chewed gum.
Yeah, she chewed a few other things too.
Now, look, to end off this
Like
week.
her food, for example.
To end off this week and this year, because we will be taking a couple of weeks off, being Christmas. When we do the show Thursdays, Christmas is Christmas Eve next Thursday, then the following Thursday is New Year's Eve, and I'm sure everyone's got better things to do than listen to us on those particular days and nights. So look, if there's anything, if we can muster up the herd in between, we might be able to push something out. But other than that, we'll see you early in January. I'll tell you what day it'll be.
Might better do a show too.
It'll be the 7th of January.
There you go.
Yeah, so as we know, Star Wars is out. Everyone's feeling the Force Awakens.
So you must see Star Wars, must see Spectre.
Spectre was good. I think it had a couple of bad reviews, the old Spectre.
I don't care what the reviewers say.
No, I enjoyed it.
Wouldn't give a rat's.
It was it was a good Bond film. I like Daniel Craig. I just like Bond. It's just great.
Yeah, I love Bond.
Star Wars. Yeah, look, I've never been a really big fan of Star Wars. I did
What
like.
if Doctor Who made an appearance?
Oh, I'm in there. in there, like Flynn.
You're there.
Yeah, but you know, this one does look. It's the hype. It's got the hype. It's intrigued me. I'll probably go and watch it. I've seen all the Star Wars. Like, I don't mind them. Like they're pretty good. But I don't get involved in all the hype. I went to this when I went and saw Spectre. It was only last night I went and saw it at the Robina Cinemas down here. They had two little stormtroopers as the DJs, just
Oh, right. Okay.
doing a groove. You know, getting into.
I don't mind a
feel of it.
stormtrooper suit, actually.
No, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. They'd be good to have. Yeah.
Wouldn't mind a Darth Vader outfit either. I think that suits me better.
He's got the irrits with the Lucas mob.
I
according to
don't
his
think
story,
Lucas.
right?
I don't think Lucas gives a damn.
Lucas.
Apparently, the guy who played Darth Vader, he's like about 7 foot tall or something. A pommy guy, I think. Had a falling out over something, and he's not invited to any of the Star Wars stuff. If he tries to rock up, they kick him out. And
Yeah, right. Oh, well. Well, I heard just tonight, I think, was that George Lucas sold the Star Wars franchise to Disney like for $4 billion.
Yeah, sold a fair bit. He
Mental.
still has a fair bit to do with them because he didn't sell his what you call it? The
Luke Productions.
Skywalker Ranch,
Oh, right.
which is where he makes all his production facilities.
Oh, okay.
So
right.
I think
Lucasfilms.
he's still out because he outsources that to a lot of companies, not just Disney.
Yeah,
They
right.
make a lot of films there at Skywalker Ranch or Lucasfilm or whatever it's called. And before that, he had Industrial Light and Magic, which I don't know if you've heard of that. It's it was out a long time ago. And I think that's what Steve Jobs bought off him to make Pixar.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, right. Yeah.
that's where I don't know if all of them went there, but at least one or two of the Mythbusters come from out of that mob as well.
Yeah, and what's his name? Alex Lindsay from
Yeah.
the Twit.
Yeah,
Yeah, he used to work at Lucas.
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
he did Star Wars stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, he
And-
worked on the first 3 Star Wars. That's right.
another reason why they probably tanked. Oh, actually, no, I read a story today about 10 reasons why the first 3 tanked, and the things
I didn't
like
mind the first 3.
yeah,
you
reading
mean-
this article, I could understand why. There was things like the dialogue, how it was all soppy between.
Do you mean the first 3?
Anakin and the other.
The first 3 episodes or the first 3 made?
No, the
so
first 3
prequels.
episodes, 1, 2, and 3.
The prequels.
Yeah, so the Darth Vader kind of backstory, how
Yeah.
he kind of.
Oh, right.
came
So
to
not
be.
the ones they made in 78. That's the first.
No. It was 1, 2, and 3. The prequels.
Yeah.
So the ones that have come out more recently.
Yeah.
Yes.
They
'Cause of the-
did tank. You're right. The first 3 made, which were 4, 5, and 6,
Yeah.
actually did very well.
Yeah. Yeah, but 1, 2, and 3.
I didn't like
Because, yeah, it was-
5.
Yeah. And other things like apparently there was a scene where everybody, bar one person, had a lightsaber, and like I said, the mushy kind of dialogue between Anakin and what's-her-face and
Who played What's Her Face? Can't remember. Was it
Natalie Portman.
That's it.
Yeah, she's nice. Got a lot of time for her.
She's Jewish too, so be careful.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, she is. I saw a video of her doing a commencement speech at Harvard. She actually graduated from Harvard.
Is it
She
Harvard
went
or
back,
Yale? One of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was doing a same sort of degree as that chick out of Big Bang Theory, the one that plays Amy.
Oh, she's a neurophysicist or something.
Yeah, neurobiology, brain surgeon.
Let me look it up.
She actually did a double degree, that and another literary kind of journalism or literary or something. But while you're doing that, on a different topic, have you guys had a look at the NBN rollout map today at all?
No? Why? Updated, has it?
Well, mine's sort of changed from construction, gone from it's coming to your area to construction has started, which has been the case for a while. But when I can't go to the map. When it kind of comes up there and it has that little kind of small bit where you click on it and then the map usually comes up, that doesn't happen. And there's no kind of overlay. There's no purple bits, no grey bits,
Well,
no green bits.
I searched for my place today as coincidences would have it, and yeah, I'm nowhere.
Here you go. Here's a bit of history on her.
No.
She graduated from Harvard University and the Hebrew University of Jerusalem, which I didn't know. Her original name was Natalie, a Hebrew name, and she was born in Jerusalem in 1981, and her father, Avner Hirschlag, was a
Hirschlag.
gynecologist.
A gynecologist.
Yeah.
I'll have a look at it for you.
No experience.
No experience needed.
Same as
Education.
Gene Simmons in Israel.
What? He's a gynecologist.
Gene Simmons is Jewish, yeah.
Yeah.
Is he a gynecologist?
No. Or is he? I don't know. Is he?
I reckon he's had a look at a few.
Are we still live? Sorry, viewers.
They all might have been a bit rough.
You have to cut that out.
Sorry. Did you think?
It's a bit rough. He's got the for it. Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
That's worse than anything I've ever said in the last 5 years.
I'll cut that out. All right. We better get out of here.
At least I know where the line is now.
I think you will. It's really crossed over it.
All right. Well, guys, where's Will and Warlock? They're just living life. Will with the
Where's
baby.
Willie?
And Warlock tripping around Australia for work or something, up and down doing training. But yeah, so just want to wish every one of our listeners a Merry Christmas and a very happy and prosperous New Year. We'll see you guys next year. And Merry Christmas and prosperous New Year to you too, Shane and Eric. We
Thank you, sir. You too as well.
thank
Yeah,
you.
you guys as well.
We'll see you guys next year, Shane, if you're not employed by then.
If I haven't got a job by say February, I know we're both blokes, Glenn, but as a Valentine's gift, a job would be great. I could be an official employee of Aussie Tech Heads.
Well, you could, for no pay. Work it out. Yeah. All right. Well, we better get out of here. So, yeah. So, all right, guys. So, if we can get together over the break, we can. We shall. But if not, well, we'll be back hopefully around about the 7th of January. Don't forget the AussieTechRadio.com and also whatever else there is. YouTube.com/AussieTechHeads. The AussieTechHeads.com.au/paper. And what else to keep you going? That's about it, isn't it? Yeah, there's still the Facebook and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, look, the radio. I'm not going to sure what's going to happen with the radio over the break because of all the shows are probably going to start to be minimal over the Christmas break. But we'll look for the current ones, and I might just even throw a couple of old random ones in there or something, just to keep the excitement going. Eh? That's AussieTechRadio.com. All right. So until next time, Merry Christmas once again and Happy New Year. We'll see you guys next year. Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.